Hi there, welcome back to Mr. Meal's Music. I'm Anthony Meal. Time to learn how to play the song and game Cobbler Cobbler or Hunt the Slipper. To start the game, I have the kids sit in a circle and they sing the song Cobbler Cobbler while keeping a beat on their shoes because it's a cobbler song. So they would go, Cobbler Cobbler mend my shoe, playing it on their shoes just with their hands, or sometimes you could use a rhythm stick so they can tap like it's a hammer. Cobbler, cobbler, mend my shoe. The next step before we actually play the game, I have my students practice singing ariosos. So they are making up words and making up melodies that would go along with this. So it would be just singing like a daily life sort of thing, like, is my shoe ready? Or, is my shoe ready? Or, sorry it's not, or no it's not, or no, sorry I'm not ready yet. So then we practice going back and forth between me and my students. So I would sing to my students, is my shoe ready? And the whole class would be making up their own response back. So nothing has to be uniformed. They're just kind of exploring what their singing voice would do in that instance. Once the whole class practices this a few times, I ask for student volunteers, and then I sing to the student and they sing back to me as a solo. So the whole class gets another good feel of what the interaction is going to be between one person and another, creating a conversation with music. Doing this gives me a good idea of who I can pick to be the cobbler and the customer in the game for the first round, so it's a good, successful round and the students can see how the game will flow between the conversation between the customer and the cobbler. At this point, I select the customer and I give them a little toy shoe. It can be like a Barbie shoe or any sort of thing that's kind of small and can be easily passed. Then they go into our circle and they present the shoe to me. For the first round, I would be the cobbler master. And they'd say, I need this shoe done by whatever time they make up. And then they go off to the corner of the room and then the fun happens. The rest of the circle, they're all the workers in the cobbler store. So we all sing the song, Cobbler, Cobbler, mend my shoe. And while that song is going on, the shoe starts traveling around the workshop. When the song is done, the customer comes back into the workshop or the circle, and the customer would come to me, because I was the cobbler master, and they would sing to me, is my shoe ready? Or, how's my shoe doing? Or, I can't wait, is my shoe ready? And the first round, the cobbler master would always respond, sorry it's not, or no it's not, or something like that. Then the customer would stomp off back into town and do some more errands. And this is hilarious for my first graders to really be able to act out that frustration, and everyone has such a good time with that. This process repeats once or twice more, and then the final part of the song and game happens. The customer is so frustrated that they sit right down in the middle of the workshop and demand that their shoe is done. So the workers in the workshop have a different idea. They decide to hide the slipper or the shoe from the customer. So from this point on, the customer sits in the middle of the workshop and all of the workers sing or chant the words, hunt the slipper, hunt the slipper, hunt the slipper. And while they do that, they keep a beat on their legs like this, hunt the slipper, hunt the slipper. And while that's going on, they are trying to pass the shoe. So whoever has the shoe when the chant starts is the starter of the mischief. And the goal is to be able to get the shoe all the way around the workshop and back to the starter of the mischief before the customer finds it. When the customer thinks they found the shoe, they just put their hand up and I tell them that's like a pause button. When that happens, every worker in the workshop freezes. And then the customer would go to some worker in the workshop and they would go, do you have my shoe? Or is my shoe with you? And they'd make up a melody and sing that to one of the workers. The workers would sing, sorry it's not, unless they got found. I typically will let my customer have 3 guesses, and hopefully they can find the slipper before it gets all the way around the workshop. And the prize for finding the shoe is that they get to pick who the next customer is going to be for the next round. If they can't find it within 3 guesses, then I get to pick who the next customer is. So that's how you play the game Cobbler Cobbler or Hunt the Slipper. If you have any questions about that, please put it in the comments or send me a message and I'll try to clear things up if anything didn't make sense. If you have any suggestions to make this game even more exciting for your students, please let me know. I'd love to learn from you. And as always, make sure to subscribe and share. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cobbler, cobbler, mend my shoe. Get it done by 2:30. 2:30 is at the door.